Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be exploring the world of glass hand pipes.
Mhm.
And we're using this article,
Right.
What is a Glass Hand Pipe, as our guide for this exploration. Now, I got to admit, the artistry of these pipes has always kind of fascinated me. I once stumbled upon a collection at like a local craft fair. The colors, the shapes, it was like walking into a glass-blowing museum.
It's more than just aesthetics, though. The choice of glass actually, revolutionized pipe design. Think about it. Before glass blowing became widespread, pipes were primarily made from materials like wood or clay. Glass offered this level of precision and control that was unheard of at the time.
Okay, that's an interesting point I hadn't really considered before. It's easy to get caught up in the visual appeal, I guess.
Yeah.
But the material itself must have been a real game changer. So let's talk functionality. Our article kicks off by defining a glass hand pipe pretty simply. A small portable device made from glass designed for smoking dry herbs.
Exactly. And that simplicity is actually like a key part of its appeal. You get a very pure, unfiltered experience compared to other methods like bongs or vaporizers, and that purity extends to the flavor too.
Right. The article mentions how glass, unlike metal or wood, doesn't interfere with the taste of the herbs at all. They even have this table comparing different materials and their impact on the smoking experience.
And you know that clean taste is something you can maintain over time too. One of the advantages of glass is how easy it is to clean. A quick rinse with warm water after each use. And for tougher residue, a bit of isopropyl alcohol does the trick.
I'm guessing that ease of cleaning is a big plus for anyone who's new to using glass pipes. Speaking of beginners,
Hmm.
the article suggests that glass pipes are often recommended for those just starting out. What is it about them that makes them so appealing?
Well, for one, they are generally considered gently on the throat compared to other methods that combine with their ease of use, and the pure, clean flavor they deliver makes them a good choice for newcomers.
Gentler on the throat is definitely something you'd want as a beginner. But I do have one concern. Wouldn't the quick heating of glass make it harder to control the temperature, leading to those harsh hits people sometimes talk about?
That's a valid point, and it's where technique comes into play. It's all about controlling the flame and knowing how to heat the bowl evenly. With practice, you kind of develop a feel for it, resulting in a smoother, more enjoyable experience.
So it's a bit of a learning curve. But once you get the hang of it, you're golden. Let's be real, though.
Yeah.
My biggest fear with glass is always the dreaded drop.
Yeah.
I'm picturing myself fumbling with a delicate pipe, ending in disaster. The article does mention using padded cases and being extra careful.
Absolutely. Glass is inherently fragile, and a little care goes a long way. Investing in a good case is a must, and being mindful of where you set it down becomes second nature.
Okay, that makes me feel a bit better. Now, I'm getting really intrigued by the sheer variety of pipe styles mentioned in the article. We've got spoon pipes, chillums, bubblers, steamrollers, each with their own unique look and feel.
It's like choosing a wine glass. You have different shapes and sizes, each designed to enhance certain aspects of the experience. Spoon pipes with their classic shape are known for simplicity and ease of use. Chillums, on the other hand, are favored for their discreet size.
And then there are the bubblers, which kind of bridge the gap between hand pipes and water pipes, right?
Exactly. They incorporate a small water chamber, which cools and filters the smoke, making for smoother hits. And finally, you have the steamrollers, known for their powerful airflow and intense effects.
So how does someone navigate this world of options? I mean, the article even poses the question, what kind of pipe is best for smoking? Is there a definitive answer?
There isn't one best pipe, just like there isn't one best type of music. It all comes down to personal preference and individual needs. The article suggests considering factors like your smoking style, the intensity you're after, and even the aesthetic you find appealing. Do you want something discreet, something ornate, something simple and functional? Those are all questions to ask yourself.
It's like finding your perfect pair of jeans. You've got to try a few on to see what fits and feels right. Speaking of trying things on, the article mentions that glass pipes can range in price, from very affordable to quite expensive. How much of a difference does price actually make when it comes to quality?
You get what you pay for to a certain extent. With more expensive pipes, you're often paying for thicker, more durable glass, intricate designs, or the reputation of the artist. But that doesn't mean a basic, well-made pipe can't provide a great experience. It really depends on your budget and priorities.
So it's a balancing act between cost durability and aesthetics. And let's not forget about the maintenance aspect we touched on earlier. Choosing a pipe that's easy to clean will ensure better taste and longevity in the long run.
Absolutely. Now, I know there's one more big question you're probably wondering about, and the article addresses it head on. Is pipe smoking better than cigarettes?
It's the elephant in the room, for sure. The article does suggest that pipe smoking might involve fewer additives than cigarettes. But is that really a significant factor when it comes to health risks?
It's important to be cautious here. While some may argue that the absence of certain additives in pipe smoking makes it a less harmful option, inhaling any type of smoke carries inherent risks. The article emphasizes moderation and the importance of using high-quality herbs, which I think is crucial to remember.
That's a good reminder that there's no such thing as safe smoking, regardless of the method.
Exactly. But the article also points out that many people find the ritual of preparing and smoking a pipe to be a more leisurely and enjoyable experience compared to cigarettes. It's often described as a mindful practice, allowing for a deeper appreciation of the flavors and aromas.
I can see how that slower, more deliberate approach could be appealing to some. But again, even with a cleaner taste and a more mindful ritual, we can't downplay the potential health risks.
Absolutely. It's all about being informed and making responsible choices.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive. From the historical impact of glass on pipe design, to the wide variety of styles available, and the crucial considerations of cost maintenance and health risks. But before we move on to the next part of our exploration, I want to leave you with a thought. If glass blowing allowed for this incredible leap in pipe design, what other innovations did it spark? In completely different fields. Think about it. The ability to shape and manipulate glass on such a precise level must have had ripple effects far beyond the world of smoking.
That's a great point. It makes you wonder how this art form influenced the development of other tools, technologies, and even art movements.
We'll delve into some of those connections when we return for part 2 of our deep dive into the world of glass handpipes. But in the meantime, I encourage you to ponder that question and see what interesting connections you can uncover.
Welcome back. I don't know about you, but my mind is already buzzing thinking about all the ways glass blowing might have shaped other industries. Absolutely. Innovations rarely happen in isolation. One breakthrough can trigger a cascade of creativity in unexpected places.
Exactly. But for now, let's get back to our main focus, glass handpipes. Before the break, we were talking about all the different types: spoons, chillums, bubblers, steamrollers. It's a bit overwhelming, to be honest.
Can be, but that's also part of the fun. It's like exploring a new genre of music. You start with the familiar, and then you branch out discovering new sounds, new instruments, new ways of experiencing something you thought you knew.
I love that analogy. It makes the whole process feel less intimidating.
And more like an adventure.
You know, one thing that's really captured my imagination is the actual process of making these pipes. I picture these skilled artisans
Torches blazing.
shaping molten glass with incredible precision.
It's a mesmerizing art form. There's a dance between control and surrender as they work with the heat, the tools, and the fluidity of the glass itself.
And it's not just shaping the glass right, they're adding colors, creating patterns, even embedding tiny details. Some of the pipes I've seen look like miniature galaxies trapped within the glass.
It's mind-boggling what they can achieve. And it goes beyond just aesthetics. Those choices, the colors, the patterns can actually influence the smoking experience. Certain techniques can enhance airflow or create a specific texture that feels good in the hand.
Wow. So it's a fusion of artistry and functionality, each element carefully considered. I'm curious, though, about the historical side of things. Did the emergence of glass pipes coincide with a cultural shift in how people approached smoking?
That's a great question. Glass blowing itself has been around for centuries, but its use for smoking pipes likely didn't become widespread until the late 19th or early 20th century. This coincided with a growing interest in personal expression and individuality, particularly in the West.
So instead of just a utilitarian object, the pipe started to become a statement piece, a reflection of personal taste and style.
Precisely. And as glass-blowing techniques advanced, it allowed for a level of customization and personalization. That wasn't possible before.
It's like the shift from mass-produced clothing to bespoke tailoring. People wanted something unique, something that reflected their own identity, and glass blowing provided that avenue.
Exactly. And that desire for unique handcrafted pieces continues to drive the contemporary glass pipe scene. We've touched on the artistry, but let's not forget the cultural and social dimensions of pipe smoking.
You're right, it's not just about the object itself,
Hmm.
but the rituals and communities that have formed around it.
Think about it. Throughout history, pipes have been used in ceremonies for social bonding, as a way to connect with nature, and even as symbols of peace.
I'm picturing those old Western movies where peace pipes were exchanged as a sign of trust and cooperation. It's fascinating how an object can hold such powerful symbolic meaning.
Absolutely. And even today, there are communities and subcultures where pipe smoking is a shared ritual, a way to unwind, connect, and engage in thoughtful conversation. It's not just about the act of smoking, but the social experience it facilitates.
It's a reminder that objects can hold multiple layers of meaning, and that understanding those layers enriches our appreciation for them.
Well said. And it highlights the importance of approaching these topics with sensitivity and respect for different perspectives and traditions.
Okay, so we've explored the artistic, historical, and cultural aspects of glass handpipes, but I feel like there's still so much more to uncover.
There always is. And that's the beauty of knowledge. The more you learn, the more you realize there's still more to discover.
I love that mindset. Speaking of discovering more, let's shift gears for a moment and revisit that thought-provoking question we left you with before the break. Remember, we were discussing how the innovation of glassblowing might have had ripple effects beyond just pipe making.
Right. It's intriguing to consider how this technology might have influenced other areas of life. Think about it, the ability to manipulate glass with such precision must have had applications in countless other fields.
Exactly. And it wasn't just the practical applications. The artistry and creativity fostered by glassblowing likely seeped into other art forms and design principles.
It's almost like a domino effect. One breakthrough can trigger a chain reaction of innovation and inspiration across various disciplines.
I'm imagining the impact on scientific instruments, architecture, even fashion. Who knows what creative sparks flew when people started to see the possibilities of glass in a whole new light.
That's a fantastic point. Perhaps the development of lenses for telescopes and microscopes was directly influenced by the techniques honed by glassblowers.
Or maybe the stained glass windows of grand cathedrals owe some of their brilliance to the artistry pioneered in pipe making. It's amazing to think about.
And don't forget the world of fashion. Intricate glass beads, delicate glass ornaments. These embellishments might trace their lineage back to the creative ingenuity of glass-blowing artisans.
It's like a hidden web of connections waiting to be unearthed. And it makes me wonder about those ripple effects even today. Are there modern innovations that we take for granted that might have roots in the ancient art of glass blowing?
That's a great question to ponder. It highlights how the past continues to shape the present, even in ways we might not immediately recognize.
I think we've stumbled upon a whole new area to explore here. But for now, let's take a moment to recap what we've covered in this part of our deep dive.
Absolutely. We've delved into the intricacies of glass blowing, the historical evolution of glass pipes, and the cultural significance they hold. We've also touched on the ripple effects of innovation, sparking connections between seemingly disparate fields.
And we've left you with some thought-provoking questions to ponder, questions that might lead you down your own path of discovery. But before we wrap up this part of our exploration, there's one more aspect of glass handpipes that I think deserves our attention: the sheer beauty and artistry they embody.
I agree. It's easy to get caught up in the technical and historical details, but let's not forget the visual feast that glass pipes offer. The colors, the patterns, the intricate designs. They're a testament to human creativity and the transformative power of art.
We've talked about how these pipes evolved, from purely functional objects to personalized statements of style. And that evolution is most evident in the artistry we see today. Each pipe becomes a miniature canvas, showcasing the unique vision and skill of its creator.
It's like holding a piece of sculpted light in your hand. The way the glass catches the light, the way the colors swirl and blend, it's a sensory experience that goes beyond just visual appeal.
And it's not just about the visual impact. The tactile experience is equally important. The way the glass feels in your hand, its weight, its texture. These elements all contribute to the overall enjoyment of the piece.
Absolutely. It's about engaging all of our senses, appreciating the craftsmanship that went into its creation, and acknowledging the artistic vision it embodies.
It's a reminder that art can be found in the most unexpected places, even in objects designed for a specific purpose. And that appreciation for beauty and artistry can elevate even the most mundane aspects of life.
Well said. And that appreciation, that sense of wonder, is something we should carry with us as we continue our exploration of glass handpipes in the final part of our deep dive.
We'll be back soon to delve into the ethical considerations and future possibilities of this fascinating world. Until then, keep those minds curious and those hearts open to the beauty that surrounds us. And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into the world of glass handpipes. We've journeyed through history, explored cultural connections, and even touched upon those ripple effects of innovation.
It's been a fascinating exploration, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And before we wrap things up, I think it's important to address the ethical side of glassblowing. We've talked about its artistic merit, but I'm wondering if there are any concerns about the environmental impact of the process itself.
That's a crucial question to consider. Glassblowing does require high temperatures, which traditionally meant using furnaces that consumed a lot of energy. However, many modern glassblowing studios are adopting more sustainable practices.
So they're moving towards eco-friendly methods.
Exactly. They're using more efficient furnaces, experimenting with recycled glass, and even exploring alternative energy sources to power their studios.
That's reassuring to hear. It's great to see how sustainability is becoming a priority in this field. It shows a commitment to not just the art form, but also the well-being of the planet.
It's a sign of progress for sure. And speaking of progress, I'm curious to know what you think the future holds for glassblowing, especially within the context of handpipes.
You know what strikes me is how this ancient art form is constantly evolving. We've seen a shift from simple designs to incredibly intricate and personalized pieces. I can only imagine what the next generation of glass blowers will create.
I think we'll see a continued push towards innovation, both in terms of design and technique. We might see new colors, new textures, new ways of incorporating light and movement into the glass.
And maybe even the integration of technology, like 3D printing or interactive elements. The possibilities seem endless. But beyond the technical advancements, I hope we'll see a continued emphasis on the human element, the connection between the artist and the material, the story each piece tells.
I couldn't agree more. In a world increasingly dominated by mass production, there's something truly special about a handcrafted object, imbued with the artist's passion and skill.
It's a reminder that even in the digital age, there's a place for the tactile, the analog, the things made with human hands and heart.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
And I think that's a perfect note to end on.
I agree. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of glass handpipes, I hope you're leaving with a newfound appreciation for this art form, its history, its artistry, and its potential for the future.
It's a world ripe for exploration, and we encourage you to continue your own journey of discovery.
Maybe you'll visit a local glass-blowing studio. Try your hand at creating something yourself, or simply take a moment to admire the beauty of a handcrafted glass piece.
Whatever path you choose, remember that curiosity is the key to unlocking new worlds and expanding our understanding of the things around us.
And on that note, we bid you farewell. Keep those minds curious, those hearts open, and always be on the lookout for the extraordinary in the ordinary.